Hey everyone, welcome back to the shop. Version 1.873, stardate 131342, whatever it is. Um, and welcome the not sponsor Rockstar. Hmm. So, had an awesome time at Sarasota Cars and Coffee. Hopefully, you guys saw the pictures that I put up uh, up on Facebook and Instagram. A lot of really cool cars. Talked to a lot of really cool people, and it's definitely a nice time. The rain, I think, kept a lot of people away, but tons of motorcycles, tons of really cool cars. Of course, there are 1100 C8s there, but that's how it goes. Let's see who popped up here. Hey, Liz. Um, so, what I'm going to do tonight is one of those things that you do with customization when you're building a custom car or you're trying to do a one off or something like that. You take a stock part and you modify it to fit or work with whatever you're building. And this is going to be one of those things. Now this is for the limo. This applies to the Miata, the Viper, whatever. um, Customization is one of those things. um, for those of us that build these cars and drive them and all that, it's very gratifying to take a regular stock part that's really close to kind of what you want and turn it into exactly what you want and exactly what the car needs. And that's, I think, a lot of it when it comes to customization. We have something that's kind of close, but it needs our little touches on it to make it ours. And this is one of those things. Now, this is something, what I'm doing on the limo is something I haven't seen before. I haven't seen it at SEMA. I haven't seen it at PRI. I haven't seen it in any social media or anything like that. So, again, I'm trying to do stuff that hasn't been done before and trying to make it look cool and trying to make it work correctly. It's very easy to make stuff look cool. It's very difficult to make it look cool and work well. So that's what I'm going to try and do. And I wanted to show you guys kind of the start to finish. That's why we have a blank slate and these boxes behind me. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do and kind of go start to finish with this. It'll probably be in a couple of different parts because I have a feeling I'm going to have to do a lot more than what I can do here at my shop. I might actually have to go get help from someone. Anyway, let me show you what we're working with here. These are, I'll show you the unopened box. These are 15-inch LED light bars from Amazon. These are 108 watts. They're very bright. I tested one of these a couple of weeks ago, and just down my street, you can kind of see the garage doors open there. It was just pouring rain here. I just took this and a battery and a switch and walked down my street, and there's no street lights here. So it lit up the night, and that was just one of them. And we're going to have a lot of them on the limo. So this is about 35 bucks for this. And this is the new one that just showed up today. This isn't the one we're going to be taking apart, but I'll show you the other one that I got. This one I got a couple of months ago, and this is the one that I was testing with. It's literally the exact same box. You can see upside down, and they're the exact same light, the exact same housing, but this one came with bare wire ends, and this one came with two spade connectors. Now, that's very nice of them to add those spade connectors. I appreciate that. The problem is they're both male. So it makes it very easy to hook this up incorrectly. And trust me, I know red is red and black is black. People can screw this up. If you don't, you have to hold their hand. Make one of these female so that they can't screw it up. Please, please. So anyway, we're not going to take this guy apart, but as you can see, these guys are identical, right? They're the exact same light bar, except for the connectors. The ends are the same. I'm pretty sure the ends are the same. They were stacked the same earlier. Yep, ends are exactly the same. They came with the same mounting hardware. It's just a little L bracket so that you can angle this however you'd like. So we're going to put this guy back, and we're going to take this guy apart. Now, here's the reason I'm taking it apart. I need these guys as close together as possible. And as you can see, there's a little gap there that I would really like to get rid of. The other thing, these guys are black and I would like them white. And that's not racist. That's just the color they are. And they have silver screws. And the silver screws don't really bug me if everything else was white. But getting them painted, or these are actually electroplated. They're not anodized. They would have to get replated or whatever, probably painted. The reason they're electroplated is because they are the heat sink for the LEDs. They help cool. This is an aluminum housing. They help cool the LEDs. Smart idea. But since I'm doing these side by side, I need no gap in between there. I need it to look like it's a single piece. So set this guy off to the side, and we're going to dissect this guy, take him apart, and find out how close, how much we need to cut off of this. Obviously, the cap needs to go before they can even touch. We can already tell the cap is wider than the top. So we'll take the cap off, we'll take the butt off, and then we'll take the face off, and we'll see what's inside here, how we can make this, you know, how we can shave this down to get those guys to sit a lot closer. So I'm going to grab some wrenches, and these look like standard hex. I'm going to grab some wrenches, and we'll take this apart and see if we can't figure out a way to get them super close together. Hang on a sec. What do we think? Metric? Yeah, I think metric too. So, and what do they look like? 2.5? Let's go with 2.5. I think 2.5 is going to be too big. And it is. It's a 2 mil. It would be surprising if it's inch. Oh, 2 mil. Okay. So let's take off our top end cap first, because hey, and that's a totally different size. Of course it is. Of course it's a totally different size. Why would all the screws be the same size? That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. So we'll get these guys loose. Jesus Christ, China. Come on, you guys. Standardization. Never heard of her. All right. And hopefully the fan's not too loud for you guys. I'm trying to keep the sweat low and the bug count low too. So, and I have my nice little soft pad here, so we can hopefully keep these guys sort of organized. This is where it's really nice to have my zoomer, because I can just go bzzz, and it pops it right out. But that's not here. And I'm also hoping that this isn't spring loaded or anything like that. You know, has some kind of pressure seal in it. That would suck. And I also don't know why the camera is syncing. So I'll fix that in a second. Keeps tilting down. So get this cap off here. And very simple. It's actually an aluminum cap, which is kind of cool. There's the end of it. So let me tilt you guys up just a spring smidge. There we go. Oh, here comes the rain again. Hey, it sounded like the Eurythmics right there. Oh, please don't copyright me. All right. So I'm going to do how this is attached here. There's a rubber seal here, which just lifts off. He wasn't really glued in. He just lifts right off. And when I'm looking at this lengthways, looking down the pipe, I can see that I can shave off a ton of this. The problem is I'm going to be very, very close to the screws. So that's the good news is I can take off pretty much all of this side and get them flush. What they're going to do, oh, this is going to take a little while. Oh, no, these are little tiny screws. So this actually won't take long at all. We're going to find out how much of this just comes off with the screws. My watch is telling me to take a moment, think about life and all the changes that are coming up in your life and how the hell you're going to wire up all these lights, make it look cool. And I don't know, maybe you guys have seen something like this before. I mean, I've, you know, spent a lot of time on the internet, but I obviously don't see everything. Apparently, there's a cheesecake that Kim Kardashian really likes, allegedly. I don't I don't know shit about the Kardashians. Well, I actually do, but that's from the OJ stuff. So I don't know if that counts. Just back before they were all whores. It was a long time ago. All right. So these are our side sill, and I think we're gonna have to take the bottom plate off in order to get access to that side sill. Because I think we have to take this end cap off. I know this is super sexy. It's one of the coolest things to watch online. But this is how you get one-off stuff. You know, you do stuff like this, and you know, don't believe me. Go ask guys like Chip Foose. Go ask guys like Dave Kindig. I would say ask Boyd Cottington, but that's not going to happen. Those guys take something and turn it into something really, really cool. It was okay before, but they definitely add something to it or subtract or whatever they do, shape it to make it fit what they have in their head. And it usually comes out pretty cool. Those guys are very good with that stuff. Um, Other guys have been watching our Ring Brothers. Uh, they do a lot of really cool customization and builds. They stick to fairly straightforward stuff, but the quality and the cleanliness is like next level. So we got to be careful because we have our power wires in here, and we also have our rubber gasket. Okay, he just pops off. Okay. Okay, rubber gasket is part of the wiring. So rubber gasket sealed in there. And now the question is, how does our side come off? Does he slide? That's a good question, right? It looks, no, he does not. This is a single extrusion. This whole aluminum thing is a single extrusion. And the screws are actually for, the small little screws are actually for the face shield. But that's a good thing we found that out because that means we can remove this face shield. And if we want to paint it or anodize it or whatever, we can do that without screwing up the cover. So what's probably going to happen is these lights are all going to come apart. We will get them machined down to where they look really good close together. And then we will get them either powder coated or uh, anodized to be white. White anodization is not always that great. So we might end up just using a really nice thermal paint, something that can handle a shit ton of heat. LEDs put out a lot of heat. Not like old school halogens. I remember having old school KC daylighters, with the little smiley face covers. I had those on my Jeep, uh, uh, 73 Cherokee Chief, and those things put out some heat. You could start a campfire with those. So here we go. Last one. And this should let us remove our glass lens, our plastic lens. Now, maybe, or moves the whole thing. Now, the plastic lens is in here. You can see me slowly pushing it up. It does have a rubber seal. That white rubber seal is going to come with it. And we just have to be kind of careful, because I don't know how we're going to put it back in there. So I'm also trying to figure out the main body of this. And if I have to, okay. So that rubber seal comes out with the glass. I'm guessing it goes back in with the glass. Yeah, that's the best way to get him out of there. He's got a little track. These are the two rubber seals, and there's a little track for him to go into. You can kind of see the little track where those rubber seals go in. So we'll just have to set him back in place before we put the lens back in. So this is the good part. We can get this lens out. And then the other nice part is when we go to paint or anodize or whatever, we can make I don't want to say a dud, just a blank out of whatever crappy plastic or aluminum or whatever. Slide this in to protect everything that's in here, paint it, whatever, and then pull that blank out, put the seals in, put the actual lens back in, and we should be good to go. So what I'd really like to do is figure out how to get, now there's no other screws on here and there's no other crimps or clamps or anything. So I think this guy, I don't know if he's glued in here. He might be glued in here, but I thought he would just slide. He is not sliding. There's nothing else holding him in. So, and there's weep holes, and they actually did a good job designing this. But yeah, you guys were with me. What we figured out is that we can trim this down to the face of the screws to this level, the face of the screws. We can machine all of this edge away, and that way those two lights can butt up against each other. And the only thing we'll have will be, a screw here. Yeah, why would you go back in there? Crazy talk. You just came out of there. So the only thing we'll have is a silver screw here and another silver screw, literally, like, I'll try and hold it, it's very small, right next to it, which I think will be okay. Again, these lights are pretty cheap. So if I want to redo it, I would actually be okay with that. Um, but if we're going to be machining this and we can't take this out, I definitely need to make like an aluminum blank. Yeah. So make an aluminum blank, and these will go and get milled. This is obviously our flat surface, 90 degrees. These will get milled down to that edge where the screws are. It'll get flipped over. It'll get milled down to that flat edge. And then this will obviously be bare aluminum. So we'll have it painted. And the other cool part is, since the backside is basically hidden, we don't really need to paint it, but just for uniformity, we're going to paint it all. I'll see if I can find a nice thermal white paint that helps with heat dissipation, because we're going to lose a little bit with this. And I want to make sure it stays cool enough. God, I wish I knew a way to pop that thing out of there. Oh, wait. Does he have an edge on there? Hang on. Let me grab a light. So I'm kind of doing this half in the dark. I think this guy has an edge on him. He does. Does he lift up? This is going to be kind of weird. Maybe he lifts up. Oh, the mosquitoes. Once the rain finishes, the mosquitoes come. So let's grab a pokey stick and see if we can lift this edge up. He doesn't really flex right there. Let's try on this side. Yeah, he's in there pretty damn tight. He's actually in there really damn tight. But I'm okay with that. Whoops. Yeah. Yeah, crap. Actually, I think he. Yeah, that center trough is holding him in some way. Yeah, that center trough has, I don't know, some glue or some notches or something in there. So the little center trough, let's see if I can show you guys here. Oh, those mosquitoes. The center trough right there has something inside where this is clipped into, preventing it from sliding. So that center trough, you would have to, I don't know, I'm guessing it slid in place and then the glue sets or whatever. That would be my guess, because this isn't moving at all. Even when I lift up on the board and push, it's not moving. So yeah, these guys are glued in here. So that's going to be our process. We're going to have to do a blank for the lens, and then machine one side, machine the other, and then paint them white. Pull out the blank, put the lens and seals back in, put it back together, and then assemble the whole thing and assemble them together. The brackets will obviously be a little bit Though, since we're doing multiple lights, the brackets aren't going to be individual. They'll be separate. There's another message here. It fits right in with every other automotive part, all of the different sizes. Yes, I'm not sure what that relates to, but sure. So we have a basic understanding of what can come apart on this, what we need to keep, and what we need to delete. These guys obviously stretch, so they're stretched, like they're unstretched now. So, oh yeah, no, they stretch and kind of hold their shape or hold their length for a little bit, and then they come back down. So these guys will have to put in one of the end caps and stretch them all the way to the other side and slide the thing in. So that'll be the process of putting this guy back together. But we now know pretty much exactly what we have to do to get this done. This is going to be the best way to do it. And with everything that's out there, there comes the rain again. You can really hear it. Oh, the different screw sizes. Yeah. This is going to be the best way to do it. Like I said, these lights are like 30, 35 bucks, and I'm doing a ton of them. So if something, screws up or whatever, it's not a huge endeavor to replace them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get 2 extra lights and have them machined the exact same way. So I do have spares because this is a custom thing, and because I like spares. I'm weird. You can call me weird all day long, but I actually like having spare components, even if it's just one. I um, like having a spare. Just I know one of these things is going to fail, or like my Christmas lights many years ago. I rented a cherry picker and it was up there like 40 feet in like 20-mile-an-hour winds. Put up all these Christmas lights, and they're like, if one bulb goes out, the rest of them will stay lit. Well, that was a huge lie. And the only bulbs that went out were the ones that were all the way at the top of the house, 40 feet up. Yep, those are the only ones that went out. Everything else down at garage level, around the front door, those were all fine, all blinky, happy, happy. The ones all the way at the top, after I had returned the cherry picker. Yeah, yep. So, see, this is why the zoomer is great, is because I can just go and zoom him back in and then come back by hand and tighten him. But I'm just doing this guy temporarily. So when I go to the machine shop, I can show them, I can take it apart in a minute. They're not going to be standing around waiting for me. So we're just doing all of these finger tight. Machine shop doesn't care about the seals. Whoa, there goes my lens. They don't care about that other stuff. Does this guy go that way? No, he goes that way. Yeah, I think. I'll have to look at the other side because that seal can't come out. So I don't want to be good at taking LED lights apart, but now all of a sudden, I guess I am. And this is a very standard LED light. They use these, trucks, Jeeps, all that stuff. They come in tons of different lengths: 2-inch, 4-inch, 5, 6, 7, 9, 8, all these different sizes. But I will tell you what they do not come in. Between 12 and 18 inches, they do not come in white. I can get a whole rainbow of colors in all of the other sizes. Between 2 inches and I think the largest I've seen is a 90-inch that's curved. So I can get those in a plethora of colors. I absolutely cannot get in between 12 inches and 20 inches in white. I get it red, blue, green, yellow, hot pink, black, any other color except white. But there's a place, and I believe they're in Texas or Arizona, and they do offer them in white. They're not, I don't think they're as powerful as these. For some reason, I think they're 100 watt. These are 108, and they are $400 each. I don't know why. They're literally the exact same bulb, shape, everything, but they have a white housing, and they are more than 10 times the price of these guys. So that's why we're doing these guys, because even if I did 20 of these and the custom machining and the custom painting, I'm still ahead of the game. And I need a lot of these lights for the limo. I mean, it's a big car. So since I need a lot of these lights, 450 bucks each? No, it's not happening. I mean, even guys who have, 6-figure budgets, they're not doing that. That's just stupid, right? That's wasteful. There are better ways to get the same result. And I have no clue why it's this one place in Texas or Arizona that has all of it. But I mean, I've even looked in like AliExpress and all the other places. For some reason, this place, the only ones with the white ones in that size. I can get white in 2-inch, 4-inch. I can get white in 12-inch. I can get white in 20-inch, 56-inch, 56 curved, 84 curved. Cannot get white between 12 and 20 inches for less than 400 bucks. It's very odd. And it's very odd that I'm seeking out that's what I do. I find the fail. I find the stuff that, the stuff that I need for my projects doesn't exist, or it's just so outlandish. And then you wonder, oh, that's why people have never done it. And then I'm like, well, we'll just do it a little different way. You get the exact same thing, and we'll do it a different way. So we're going to have these in white. They're going to be able to go right next to each other. We're not getting rid of that much material, but it is going to be important to cover it because it also to be aluminum, so it'll be exposed to the elements, salt and rain and road debris and stuff. So it definitely needs protected. And it's very easy to get another shield and just a blank, and put that blank in there and machine this, pull the blank out, send it to paint, or leave the blank in, paint it, do the next one, machine this. So yeah, actually they'll probably all get machined, and then they'll all get painted one at a time. We'll just do like a cardboard or something super simple for this. I could probably just at a sheet metal place, just get bar stock that's this size and just cut it. So that's our plan. We've taken this apart and put it back together, except for the seals. But those are going to go back in after we've painted, after everything's ready to go. We're going to put these seals back in because they are, like I said, they're stretched to fit. So you hold them at this end, or actually you would hold them at this end. And then as you push the lens cover back in, he comes down here. Actually, it doesn't really matter. You can do it from either end. They have a little hook down here that hooks into the end and holds it in place. So we'll do that and put these guys back together after they've been machined and everything. So that's going to be our plan. It's going to be a bunch of these on the limo, and they're going to be bright as hell, because even this one is stupid bright. Like just me walking down the street with a battery and a bag and a switch, it was enough to light up the road. 2 of these is definitely like that guy with the Lexus who has the LED lights pissing me off with the high beams. That's what these are. So yeah, we're gonna have to do a bracket that not only holds these guys straight, but also lets us tilt them and angle them a little bit because they're a very wide angle. So we'll have to bring them in slightly. We don't need to go super wide, but yeah, these lights are going to work out great. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 right now, and we got a lot more coming. So this will be a nice fun project. And now I got to find a machine shop down here that can cut these for me and hopefully not charge me an arm and a leg. Hopefully it's a pretty simple setup and they can do it in a day. But I definitely have to wait for the other ones to get here. I want to get them prepped and all apart and everything. So the less work that the machine shop has to do, the cheaper it is. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. You know how many projects I've done? God, I mean, I only have 5 patents. So yeah, machine shops are great. Um, when you need that like super precision stuff, machine shops are the way to go. So it's nice to have one. I don't have one down here. I have several up in Ohio. If you're in Columbus, Ohio, the absolute dead nuts best machine shop within 50 miles is Exact Machine Corporation. Um, they are just north of Columbus, Ohio. They're right off the County Line Road. And Rich, the owner, is super cool. And he has put up with all of my insanity over the years. And I'm actually pretty proud that he has one of my Tremolo units on his, wall of fame. I thought that was pretty cool. He did a bunch of prototypes for me prior to us going into production, and he did a fantastic job. And Rich has done a lot of machining for me over the years. Um, Exact Machine does a really fantastic job. The finishes are great, specs, all that. The rest of the crew up there is really nice too. All of the other guys are super helpful, and that's always nice. And when you can keep it local, that's always a good thing too. I don't like sending it off to some other place and they say they're going to do it and then it comes back and it's all jacked and you got to send it back again, or you got to buy another part. I have to buy another light, undo that one. Nobody wants that. So yeah, and go through 3 of these just to get one right. Um, huh. Oh, I'm looking up here and I'm seeing on the backside. I don't know if you guys can see inside there, but I'm like, that's weird. What are those little silver things? It's the threads for this. So since we're machining that off, oh crap. Well, I guess it depends on how much we machine off. It's going to be pretty damn close though. Okay. Yeah. We might have to do something different with the end cap screws because they're inside this edge here and we're going to be machining off most of that. Well, yeah. Yeah, just looking at the vertical coming down here and coming down from where these guys are, we're going to have to figure out what we'll probably do is a rivet because these guys won't ever need to come apart again. If they fail, they'll just get replaced. So we'll probably do a rivet in there. We do still have the center screw, which will be really nice. And we also might just do epoxy. We might do a Loctite makes this great epoxy. We use it on carbon fiber. And we might do that. It's a black and it's like rock solid. It's crazy solid. So we might do the Loctite black epoxy up there and possibly a rivet. We'll see what's available fastener wise. But yeah, it looks like that. I would say most of that edge is going to go away. And also when we machine this, we'll have to do it with the caps on because we need the caps to get machined at the same time. So, yeah, I'll probably have to pick up extra screws. Yeah. Or actually, we can take the cap. Well, we can't. We can remove it from the aluminum, and then those can be dremeled No, it's aluminum. It's got to be machined. Damn it. Damn it. So the caps have to be machined as well. That's going to suck. But that's how it goes. If we're bare aluminum, maybe we can just TIG weld it. It would be, well, it'll be open. So we could TIG weld, I guess we could TIG weld a barrel in there, tap it. Yeah, that's a possibility too. We just do TIG weld an aluminum barrel in there, tap it, and then the screw goes into that. And also, this screw doesn't need to be this damn long. I have no clue why it's that long. It can actually be a lot shorter. I think they're using it because of the center, and they just use the 3 long screws. They don't even care. That's me. I'm guessing. I didn't engineer this. I didn't put it together. I'm working with it the best I can. So just so you guys know, these are going to be the lights for the limo, and they're going to work awesome, and there's going to be a bunch of them. This pack of 4, not even halfway there yet. You like that? Not even halfway there. Jeep guys are going to go berserk when they see how many LED light bars are on the limo. So there you go. There's a small part of the customization process, and now we have a plan formulated. I can put it up on the whiteboard, machine, disassemble lamps, find machine shop, machine them down, get them painted. I can put that up on the whiteboard. That's something we have to do in order to get lights on the limo. So this is something you have to sit down and do. It makes the process a whole lot easier. So now I can take the rest of these apart. I know where the seals are. I know where the screws are and the end caps and all that, and I can get these prepped for machining to get them to get them where I need them in order to install them in the car. The other option, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to leave this, silver screws. These socket head cap screws are kind of industrial. The car's sort of industrial-ish. And with the white, the silver will match fine. And the silver will also be a nice touch with the hood ornament and also match the 100-spoke Daytons. So they match the wheels. It's kind of a very small accent color, and there's going to be a ton of these. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. There's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot. But it'll be a cool, I think it'll be a nice feature. The other option would be to get slightly different heads on these screws and epoxy over them once everything's installed, and then paint. So that's another option, and then it would just be a smooth setup. We could get some cheese head screws. They have a smaller head than the socket head cap screws, and it's usually a flathead drive, and put those in, and that might give us a little cleaner look. We'll see. We'll see how it goes, and also that's something I can change later on down the road. I'm not too terribly worried about it. So that's part of the customization process. There you go. So I've got a regular part, and I'm going to take those regular parts. I'm going to modify them to work with the car that I'm working on. That's it, man. That's customization in a nutshell. And it happens every day, and there's guys who are really good at it, and there are people who are not very good at it. So every time I do something like this, I try and be better at it. That's just me. It's just my work ethic and what my dad taught me and all that. So that's about it for tonight. Hopefully you guys like this. And I got to say thank you to all the new subscribers. You guys are great. I really appreciate that. And I've got some notes from you guys that I really appreciate. So I'm going to keep, like I said, I'm going to keep doing this as long as I can. I don't get paid a dime for this. I love doing this with you guys and showing you, crazy fun stuff like this. and crazy fun stuff like the Miata and the Viper and the limo and the Grom. And I really wanted to take the Grom out today, but it's just raining most of the day and overcast and crappy. No Grom today. Maybe tomorrow. But I love doing this with you guys, and I love getting the feedback from you guys. Hey, I tried this and it worked great. Or I've also gotten the, hey man, have you ever thought about using XYZ for this instead? And I'm like, no, man, that's a great idea. I should probably do that. So I love getting those, and then I try it out. And I'm like, oh, hey, if I use a little rubber white seal, I can seal this up real quick. I'm like, yeah, that's great. Versus trying to squeegee in epoxy or whatever. I'll get a helpful hint from people, and I've got that a few times from folks, and I love that. So thank you guys for doing all that, and thanks for spreading the word about the channel. Like I said, I do this all organically. I don't pay for advertising. I don't pay for followers. I don't pay for any of that shit. This is me and everyone that's here. All these people that aren't here. So I appreciate you guys. As I choke, I'm not crying. I just choked. I appreciate you guys, and like I said, I'll keep going. I'll get you an update on these. I'll look for Machine Shop this week and see if I can get some quotes. Obviously, I have to take the piece into them, so I'll take this into them and see if we can get some quotes. And I'll just keep you guys updated on this little project, the lighting project, and what it's going to cost, what all it entails, and um, you know, this will be one little tiny section of a huge, $25,000-$30,000 project. So we'll see how it goes. Thanks again for hanging out tonight. I know it's a Sunday night. I know it's late, and we all have a jamming week ahead of us. So that's it. Go out there and try something. Try customizing something, a part for your vehicle that's inexpensive. A $10 or $20 part, and try customizing it. Engrave your initials on it, or shape it differently. Whatever it is, try wiring it up. With a high and low. Whatever it is, try something like that, and you'll understand the gratification you get of taking something that's bone stock and turning it into something that's absolutely yours. Nobody else has anything like it. It's incredibly gratifying. I promise it is. I promise it is. And especially when you do original stuff like this, like I haven't seen anybody do stuff like this. So we'll see how it goes. Your custom videos gets mine's working and provides different perspectives. Yeah. Hopefully. Whoops. Those guys are trying to leave the chat. I wanted to motivate people, and if you guys see me doing it and break something, or blow a fuse or a relay or whatever, you know what not to do. So I'm hoping that it inspires people to go out and try it, and not stress too much about this stuff. Don't stress about replacing a light bulb and a headlamp in your Miata. Don't stress about you know I don't know. I'm trying to think about things that people stress about that they really shouldn't. Changing the oil on your car, changing brake pads on your car. Believe it or not, changing the brake pads on the Viper is easier than changing the brake pads on the Miata. I can do the Viper insanely quickly. It's literally one pin. Ping, pull the pads out, put it in, spring clip, one pin. It's so fast to do the Viper. Miata is much more involved. And unspolt it, flip it up. So don't be intimidated by stuff. Go and do it. And then once you've done it, you're like, that was so easy. I promise you'll be like, oh, that was so easy. I don't know why I was so scared of it. So I'm taking a Mace Curran stand on this stuff. If you guys don't know Mace, Michelle Mace Curran, go check her out on Instagram. Go check her out on Facebook. Former USAF pilot, former Thunderbird, just came out with a new book. It's called The Flip Side, and so jazzed that she finally has her book out, and people are enjoying it. I love it when the shitty label comes up. Yeah, go check out Mace Curran. She has a lot of stuff. Great speaker, great public speaker, and super motivational. Super motivational. Super cool. Um, but yeah, I'll take a page out of her book, and you know, you can be afraid at first, but you're not going to be afraid after. Yeah, it's cool. What does Liz say? Didn't know that about Viper brakes. Yep, Viper brakes are super super easy. Same front and rear too on Gen 3s and Gen 4s. Yeah, Mace is really amazing. Super super cool lady. Super cool lady. And I think that's it for tonight. We'll do some more stuff tomorrow night. I'm trying to think of my week here. Yeah, tomorrow night we'll be in here. Um, and I don't know what we're doing yet tomorrow night, but it is probably going to be limo stuff. We might be doing Miata suspension. It's going to depend on when I get these lights because I want to show you guys how I'm wiring all these guys up. So depending on when the lights get here, it might be Miata suspension tomorrow night. I need to raise the rear about half an inch, 3/4 of an inch. So depending on what happens, we'll either do lights or we'll do Miata. Sound good? Cool. Thanks everyone, and thank you guys for spreading the word and subscribing. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to show someone that you love them tonight. Give me a kiss on the cheek. Give me a kiss on the tip of their nose. Hold their hand. Give it a squeeze. It's really important for them, but it is far more important for you. All right. The other benefit: Rolly stools. I love my Rolly stool.